All right, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, because that's where I learned this truth from. Salutation to the brothers pushing this word throughout the four corners of the globe. This is Ya'ak Asah from the DC camp. And this is the true image of the Lord. This is the false image of the Lord. I just wanted to get into it and make sure everybody, doesn't forget what Esau's blessing is. His blessing is the sword, and through that, he's going to destroy many. And this is Genesis 27:40. And by the sword shalt thou live. This is when Esau was getting his blessing. He said, and by the sword shalt thou live. And what is a sword? It's a destroying instrument. It cuts, much like the needles that they use to inject, various things into people. It might be a small sword, but you still don't want to get hit by a sword of any length, because it's going to cut you. And when it cuts you, the point is to destroy you. And it's no different with what they're trying to inject in these times for that C-19 situation that they spread all throughout the earth. So I'm going to go ahead and read the rest of Genesis 27:40. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So at one point in time, the devil that the Bible speaks of, the man who's ruling earth today, right now, he was serving up under Israel. And he's going to go right back to serving up under Israel. But for a period of time, he's going to break that yoke. And that yoke, basically, if you've ever seen some of the slave images, the yoke that literally was a large collar of iron placed around the necks of slaves. And that's figurative for bondage, for being in slavery. So I'm going to go ahead and get Psalms 94:20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? Because at the end of the day, Israel is supposed to be ruling all over the earth, and even further than that. But there's no way we can have people ruling that are totally wicked, like Esau, Edom. Job 9:24. You can grab that. Matter of fact, it's right here. A little bit. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. And that's really what this part is right here, with him covering up the face of the judges and putting this false image. But the first part of that says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He has control over the whole earth, and he still has his blessing. He used his blessing to get control over the whole earth, and that blessing is the sword. And then his end goal really is to do this: to cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. That mark is this RFID microchip implant. He wants to use his small sword to inject that into you. He wants to cut into you and get that to go. This is Daniel's 8:25. He's going to use that to try to control and manipulate the last people, because based on that Georgia Guidestone, he really wants the earth to be maintained under 500 million. And right now we got like 8 billion. So he need about 7.5 billion people to be unalived, if you know what I mean. He's using a small sword specifically on Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, but on everybody as a whole. And he wants that small sword to be used to get rid of y'all. This is Daniel's 8:25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's saying that he's using this small sword to come and help people, but for real, it's meant to cut and destroy you. By peace, he's trying to destroy you. But he's also going to, try to make it cool. He's going to make it a trend. Go ahead and get the small sword used on you. Get the small sword to inject this. Get the small sword to inject that. And he's only going to have the people he likes to survive the small sword. But he also has other weapons. We're not just talking about a small sword that cuts, but he's going to augment his soldiers. And you can see here, Microsoft landed a $21 billion contract. That's more people than there is on Earth. to arm the U.S. soldiers, United States soldiers, with futuristic augmented reality helmets. And as you go ahead and read the article, it really just reminds me of Call of Duty. You can see here, the headset is very similar. The idea behind the headset is it's going to help the soldiers respond quicker in combat. He could possibly have it so that all the enemies are outlined in a special color, or the headset is trained to look at things and identify it faster, so that the soldier doesn't really have to think. But that can also be spun on his head if soldiers are used to having the headset tell them what stuff is, and they're used to the headset telling them, hey, this is an enemy, time to fire. Esau can trick that and tell you to fire on your own people, get you kicked out, and use that against you, or better yet, use it to wipe out somebody that he doesn't really like. Whatever the case, he can use it, and it's gonna make for destruction. That's the point that I'm making. But he also has other weapons, unique, and this is back in 2012. This is actually old. Unique or U.S. replica. Russia tests its own heat ray cannon. This devil has nukes. He's got heat ray cannons. He's got augmented reality headsets. He's got lightning guns. And some of these articles are old. Don't forget, this devil's blessing is the sword. But he's not just going to use the sword. This goes back to this word right here. Goes back to Daniel's 8:25. And through his policy, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And what is that? Craft. And that's that word I'm grabbing right here in the Hebrew. And here in the blue letter, they say it's pronounced Miramar, but when you go ahead and get the translation right here, actually in the modern Hebrew, is the Aramaic Hebrew, and it is Ma. You have a Ma, a Ra, another Ma, and a Ha. So Marama. That's how it would be pronounced. Marama, not Mirama, but Marama. And then the Ha at the end is pronounced just like a A. You don't really pronounce the H part of it, and it's read from right to left. So Marma, and that's that craft that he's gonna be using. But here's the Strong's definition of it: Marma, in the sense of deceiving, fraud, craft, deceit, deceitfully, false, fiend, guile, subtlety, and treachery. He's going to do some underhanded stuff. And what is he pushing throughout the earth right now, specifically on the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the Israelites of the Bible? He's pushing, come and get this small sword, get this liquid, this potion pumped into your veins, and everything's going to be good. He's coming with subtlety. It doesn't get much more clear. But, just like the book says, as soon as you find yourself in adversity, you should find him there first, loosely paraphrasing. And that's what he's doing right here. Specifically pushing everybody closer to getting this. But before he even gets to that, he's over here using his blessing to cut into you. You got everybody used to getting tattoos. You got people used to getting cut with a small sword for other things like chicken pox or mumps or whatever the hell. And now he wants you to get something for this global situation that's going on right now. It would be wise to not trust him, just on that fact alone. But with that, I'm gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash, Abba Ball.